Have you ever wondered what goes into planning for motion control shoots? Hey everyone, and welcome back to MRMC Academy. Today we're diving into one of the most powerful steps in any motion control workflow, previsualization. In a broad sense, previs, for short, can be thought of as a visual blueprint. You're probably already familiar with things like storyboards, shot lists, and kinematics, and these are tools that can help align everyone on set to make sure that the production days run as smoothly as possible. There are often many moving parts and pieces on a film set, so it's important that everyone knows what the plan is and what they're individually responsible for. Previs from Moco can take things a step further as we're able to plan and simulate precise robotic camera moves without the need for any hardware. So whether you're planning for a high-speed shoot, a red carpet glambot experience, or a complex VFX shot, Previs helps bridge the gap between the creative vision and the technical execution. In my opinion, there are really only three main ways to accurately previs for Moco moves. The first way is to use an IK rig in your 3D software of choice. IK just stands for inverse kinematics, and without getting too technical, understand that inverse kinematics allows us to position the camera where we want, and the rig will solve the necessary joint angles in order to make it happen. So you can think of the camera as the controller for the arm instead of the arm being the controller for the camera. Building an IK rig is definitely a bit more on the advanced side of the spectrum, and it won't have the ability to check for position, velocity, and acceleration limits unless you add that functionality, which will involve some scripting. You'll also eventually have to export the move from your 3D software so that you can import it into Flair, or you'll have to rebuild the move in Flair from scratch later, which just means extra work. The second way is to send real-time rig data from Flair to any FK rig in another 3D software using OSC. FK stands for forward kinematics, which is when you input the joint angles to solve for the camera's position, so the opposite of inverse kinematics. This approach does require some initial setup time, but it can be incredibly powerful, and one of my personal favorite aspects is that you can set up a VPN and send the real-time rig data to a 3D artist that's anywhere in the world. It's so fun to be able to offer this level of creative collaboration, and it makes the planning process more enjoyable for everyone. The best part is that you're using Flair to program and drive the animations, which means that you can check your limits and spot any potential issues much easier. I have all of the rigs that I typically operate inside my asset library in Blender and also in an Unreal Engine project so that I can use them for any of my shoots that require that level of previs. I have a much longer video on YouTube that walks you through this entire process of setting everything up if you're interested. Link in the description. Now, the third and in my opinion the easiest way is to just pre-visualize everything directly inside of Flair. You have the ability to import, modify, and arrange 3D assets, which include 3D scans of your physical sets right there in the 3D viewport. You can also spawn some primitive shapes if you just need something quick and dirty. This approach keeps everything in one program, which is always a plus, and you have the ability to export any moves that you program as a .usd file. These files can be opened natively on iPhones and can be viewed in AR using your phone's camera to see what it would look like in the real world. I like to take some files with me on my tech scouts to see how each rig might fit in that particular location. When done well, Previs helps manage time and expectations effectively, avoids costly surprises, and allows everyone to walk on a set with a clear understanding of not only what needs to be done, but also what approach works best. Previs is ultimately a communication tool, and life's better when we're able to communicate effectively. Well guys, that is it for this one. If you've got any questions or you need some help setting up OSC or you need any advice on building out your Previs pipeline, leave a comment down below or reach out to me on Instagram. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.